just checked my phone to see what the time was. General McNamara would kill me.
Okay.
Is that an iPhone?
Yeah, it's 6S. I've had...
Wear a watch!
I've been meaning to do this video for months now, and I really mean months, ever since Black Friday came out. You've already seen the title of the video, so you know what's gonna come. I think, like everyone, after seeing Black Friday, it was a bit of, what? Huh? How?
No! No, 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 no!
How?
No!
Sort of thing. So, I put my thinking cap on, and for the very first time I want to share one of my theories with you. This is a theory I'm quite proud of. My theory. I believe that Jane is Webby. Let me explain. Let's start off with
The guy who did like musical.
Emma is one of the main driving characters of the thing. Even arguably she's more of a driving force than Paul, who is the main character. When Paul hears about the apotheosis sort of thing, the first person he runs to, Emma. And then she takes a driving force about where they're gonna go when they're reunited. Well, Paul's reunited when they group up with the other co-workers from Paul's place of work. She's a driving force of, let's go to my professor's house because he might know what to do, sort of thing. So she does set up quite a lot of the things that happen throughout the musical. And the play ends with her dying. She's not shown as dead in the musical. The car crash with Jane is a huge revelation, not revelation, it's a huge point for Emma that she tells Paul this is something that happened to her, and it's also the main reason why Emma came back to Hatchetfield. So it's very clearly a huge part of her life, because it's her sister dying in a car crash. Yes, of course it's gonna be a fucking thing. So Jane clearly had a big impact on Emma.
Piece of shit. Do you all see what I
Immediately when you start watching Black Friday, it's really easy to see similarities between the two. So aside from the obvious, it's set in Hatchetfield again, Emma and Paul are back. And they're not singing. We've got Emma and Paul, a load of side characters, including those that just appear in What If Tomorrow Comes. So they really go into detail about showing it is the same Hatchetfield. Apart from the big musical numbers, they're not singing elsewhere. The apotheosis has not hit this Hatchetfield, which makes me think it's a multiverse. That The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals and Black Friday are two separate Hatchetfields. However, aside from all they're the same characters, I think they've got similar motivations and similar outlooks on life and things like that. It's, you know, there is one major connection. General McNamara, no. A huge thing that appears in Black Friday again is the car crash with Jane. So it appears again, and this time it's more of a backstory for Tom. Tom is Jane's husband and the father of Tim, Jane's son. So Tom is heavily impacted by the loss of Jane. He feels he let Tim down when Jane died, and his motivation in the musical is making sure that Tim is happy again, and he doesn't want to fail him. That is probably why he gets suckered into Wiggly's scheme, and it's also actually what saves him. From The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, you've got Emma, and Black Friday, you've got Tom. So, Emma, Jane's sister, Tom, her husband. Two musicals, two of Jane's closest relatives are at the centre of each musical.
Coincidence? I think not!
I think that Jane is Webby. So Webby is mentioned as a sort of space spider, entity from the black and white that communicates mainly with Hannah, Lex's sister, little girl who essentially needs a mother figure, whether that is in her sister Lex or perhaps a mum who's died and gone into the black and white. My main bit of the theory is that Webby came to the Hatchetfield universe and met Tom, gave birth to Tim, had their little family sort of thing, and Webby arrived from the black and white in order to protect the universe because Hatchetfield is ground floor for entities from the black and white to come into. So she's essentially there on the front lines protecting our world. I assume it's our world. They have quite a lot of our references. So protecting the world from the black and white, from threats such as the apotheosis and Wiggly. So Jane's working really, really hard, doing a wonderful job, and then Jane dies in a car crash, whether set up or not. I personally think it would be a great moment in the third Hatchetfield musical if we found out that someone set up the car crash. Because I think the car crash is central, as I've mentioned. It's mentioned as huge, huge points in both Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals and Black Friday. Proper driving forces for both Emma and Tom are resulting of the car crash. Car crash is when Jane dies. That marks ground floor, as I said. Hatchetfield, ground floor, splinters into a multiverse. Hatchetfield is no longer on a linear path. There are now multiple things branching off. That means that there can be the same references, i.e. car crash and things that came before, but now branching off. That's what I think happened. One, branching off, The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, branching off, Black Friday. That's what I think happened. That's what makes the best sense to me. But Jane / Webby is not dead. I believe Jane's dead, but Jane's force as Webby now can't exist in our world. Webby is now in the black and white fighting for the forces of good against things like the apotheosis and Wiggly. He obviously did very well for a time because neither of these stories happen immediately after the car crash. So in The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, the apotheosis comes around and Emma is being tormented by singing and dancing. In Black Friday, Wiggly comes, well, doesn't technically come, but the forces of Wiggly come into our world. Webby has failed in keeping them in the black and white dimension. I mean, Wiggly is still technically there, but never mind. The only person in the multiverses who knows about the black and white is General McNamara. He's a driving force for the black and white. The fact that he tries to get the president. It's such a wacky thing. He goes into the black and white, and General McNamara then ends up going into the black and white to save him and standing up to Wiggly. It's clear that they know General McNamara, so it's also possible that General McNamara is an entity like Webby, who, like Jane, went into our world, lived a life, and then when they died, goes into black and white in order to save other people. In this case, General McNamara then goes back and into our world from the black and white, but only in entity form, to save Lex, who's being strangled. It's fine. Yeah, so that Lex is then saved. In fact, I believe Webby helped General McNamara enter the world again so he could save Lex, who then, immediately after, goes and saves Tom. So that's why I believe that Webby was involved, because she knew that Lex is a powerful figure that can save Tom from himself. We only found out about Webby because Hannah talks about Webby, about the fact that Webby is a good figure looking out for Hannah. I believe that Webby is Jane reaching out to Hannah to help keep her alive, and I believe that Hannah is a key key figure in order to save everything. Most likely in order to save everything / Tom and Emma, because there's quite a lot of pieces that have been set up throughout both musicals to keep both Emma and Tom alive, i.e. the two people closest to Jane. So that I feel that my theory does work. There are some things that obviously there's some question marks in it. For example, how do Lex and Hannah have their powers, aside from the fact that they're both needing a mother figure? I doubt Webby would be able to give them those powers. They might have a connection to the black and white. Maybe General McNamara is their dad. We don't know about their dad. Something that literally just popped into my mind. Maybe, like Jane, General McNamara came, and that's what I said earlier, but maybe General McNamara decided 2 daughters, and that's why they have it. Maybe Tim has connection to the black and white as well. Yeah, that's my ramblings. So if you do have any theories, please put them in the comments below and we can have a conversation about them, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. No. Give me a like and subscribe, it would really help me out. Thank you very much, and see you again. Stay totally awesome.
Here we go.
15 seconds left. 9, 7,
5,
3.
2.
What if tomorrow